pick a hyperscaling bot lane and just wait it out.
Well, that's the thing. How much practice have IG had doing that?
None. They don't ever lane swap.
Exactly. So it could be tricky. Qiao Gu also back on the blue side, so adding more points into Qiao Gu's column here, but game 1 and 2 have looked good. IG have no more chances left here, and again, the same 2 bans. Rookie is just getting it every game. Yasuo Twisted Fate banned again. Kalista Azir banned from IG. Lulu banned once more for Qiao Gu, even though they managed to beat it in the last game. And Victor finally eats a ban, so 4 mid lane bans here.
Now, Elise is up and available, as is that Ryze. We saw Zzitai have it last game, see if V can do some work. And again, not that V can't play Ryze, but I just think that he's so much better suited on a champion like Maokai.
Completely agree. His Maokai is awesome. We've seen it in 2 games. It fits his style. If they can give him room, Ryze will do plenty of things for V. It still suits him. He's played carries before like KaKAO. Not as much initiation threat maybe, but still has good CC, good damage. Sets him in a lane where he can farm, which is always nice for him. But Qiao Gu is going to take their time with the pick. They already beat Ryze. Maybe they think they've got the answer.
No, I'd agree with that. I'd be really curious if they decided to prioritize Lee Sin, though, early, especially because, again, the Nidalee's working so well. I do think that KaKAO is going to go for a very aggressive jungler. Lee Sin is his most played. Elise is his second most played champion of all time.
He's got them both open, but there's the Braum out for Qiao Gu. They give away the Ryze in preference for the very strong priority support pick. So IG going to get themselves good chances at picks, and they do take the Maokai. Instantly Zzitai locks it away, and KaKAO's going to steal Nidalee.
Okay, so here we go. Where's Swift going to go? Is he going to go to the Lee Sin?
Oh my god, this would be such a jungle matchup.
This entire series has been a jungle matchup. I cannot believe that they did standard lanes and just let KaKAO and Swift continue to smash into each other.
Well, KaKAO's going to finally have a jungler that can match a lot of that aggression, but you know Swift isn't backing down. There's no way he goes to a super farm heavy jungler.
But I love it. I just like when players are like, oh, I don't want to do the 1v1 matchup, pick Lulu, pick Orianna, and just kind of like shift back into their farm zone, not doing the 1v1, wanting to fight creeps. So I love the fact that KaKAO and Swift are looking across each other like, let's go.
Well, there's Kog'Maw locked in for TNT for a 3rd straight game. Swift is considering his jungle options, but doesn't really need to pick them up right now unless he thinks KaKAO's getting very cute and flexing that Nidalee away from the jungle. So they might have a priority pick against the Maokai that they want. V is going to have to change his champion. And with 2 seconds left, by all accounts, it seems like Qiao Gu are in fact going to take Gnar.
But he's entirely in a comfort zone there for the Gnar. Now, the thing about V is he doesn't often have to branch out his champion pool, and it's not to say that his champion pool is limited, it's just he's never been the target or the denial on his team when you have so many strong faces like Swift, like Doinb, like TNT. So don't suspect him to slow down much. Gnar is kind of his secondary go-to pick. Kid, though, I'm actually surprised that he's hovering the Sivir. I would have thought that he was going to go Vayne here. Yeah,
I think Vayne's a nice pick. They've got Janna open as well, so they can put together that bottom lane if they want to do that. Not bad against Braum either, so lots of options here.
It's sacrificing, that's not sacrificing some of your team fight just because Sivir is still a decent team fighter with her AoE, but kind of some of your late game hyperscaling and prioritizing more rotation and siege-based play, which I guess across from Qiao Gu makes a little bit of sense because you don't necessarily want to rely on, never mind, out 5-5ing them.
I think it's tricky to play into Kog'Maw Sivir as well. So there's the Janna lock-in. 5 seconds for IG to decide.
I expect.
Do they want Vayne?
Okay. After I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to rationalize and give them the Sivir option. No, okay. This makes so much more sense just because Nidalee is going to give Vayne so much more and really help assist out that siege with the primal surge, the attack speed. I've talked at length about Janna and Vayne, how much I love this duo bot. It has a ridiculous win rate in the LPL. The last time I checked, which was about 3 weeks ago, it was like 22-7. So it is incredibly potent and powerful, and it just shorthands to this. Janna shores up all the weaknesses that Vayne has. Makes her great at sieging, helps her rotate around. The Tailwind works wonderfully with her passive, the flat AD off of VE with the final hour. It's a beautiful harmony of destruction.
It is.
I almost said something that would not have been appropriate.
And IG, they're going to have to make sure they get work done with that dual lane here. Certainly experienced champions of both of them. So what they've lined up so far is looking good. And they are going to give Rookie the counter pick, which makes perfect sense here. And 5 seconds left for Qiao Gu. Swift might be taking it still on the playmaking front, but dialing back the pressure a bit. Nope, trick me.
Perfect.
Gives away the Echo, takes the Lee Sin, and it's actually LeBlanc for Doinb as well.
I was going to say, come on, Swift. Don't back down. Don't do Echo.
He's not backing down.
No.
It's all Lee Sin.
Perfect. I would not have a 3-0 sweep any other way.
Well, Qiao Gu are looking for that, that's for certain. But this is the second LeBlanc we've seen today. Did not win the game for Pawn, and a champion that's been very absent on this patch with good reason.
You have to think that the hyper carries were pushed out because of assassin play like LeBlanc. When LeBlanc was such a big pick, you couldn't pick someone like Vayne, like Kog'Maw. And then as the Cinder Hulk meta took over, it made assassins obsolete because they couldn't burn through the tanky stats. So you saw the rise of the control mage because it's about rotating through your cooldowns and whittling down the tank. As the hyper carries come back, Kog'Maw and Vayne, naturally it's going to empower the assassins to come back and try to blow them up.
Especially with 4 mid laners banned. These guys have to reach pretty deep into these pockets to get some other picks off. But LeBlanc's a weird one, just something that we haven't seen that much of, but Doinb's very experienced on the champion. Rookie will take Ahri though. He is an absolutely terrific Ahri player. If anyone's going to be comfortable here with his entire series on the line, it is going to be Rookie. We
have a lot of bridged power spikes from Invictus Gaming across their composition, but again, they have the late game scaling potential with the Vayne, which is what we expect. They have great siege, pick potential, team fight, so very well rounded. On the other side, Qiao Gu, they're just trying to run into you.
Yep, Swift, get him in there, get the jungle taken away from KaKAO. Be as annoying as possible, gank those lanes, and snowball to another quick victory. Qiao Gu have only really played at 1 speed this series. Not to say they can't play a little slower, but they honestly just haven't needed to.
And honestly, over the course of their last few weeks in the LPL, they've been playing from behind more often than not. It's kind of comforting to see them get the lead and then really turn the acceleration on.
Certainly a team that benefits from this sort of momentum. Best of 5s have not been their friends, but we win 3 in a row. It's that much easier. V going to take Gnar into the top lane versus Zzitai for what could be our last game, but IG, they'll fight back here as KaKAO's going to steal that Nidalee away, and Shiv's like, all right, you want to play this game? I'm going to take Elise in.
Now KaKAO known for his clutch plays, as is the mid laners, Rookie versus Doinb. So yes, IG may be on their back foot, but they've come back before.
Certainly have. In fact, very recently here in the playoffs, as Doinb on LeBlanc versus Rookie's Ahri. Almost a throwback matchup, very skill intensive for the 2 mid laners, and TNT still on Kog'Maw, has not been taken away versus Kid on the very veteran pick for him, Vayne.
And again, it's not a legacy or a signature pick for Kid, but this split in particular, Vayne has been his most successful champion.
Yeah. That's TCT on Braum. I like this pick up at Kitties with that Janna to complement the Vayne. It's all very beautiful there in the IG bottom lane, and they need it to be. You can see the KaKAO lands are going to have to be risen up high here in this game because he has work to do.
Did it last time. Pressure's on. Can he do it again? Again, veteran legacy players. If anyone can come out on top, it is Invictus.
It certainly is. And with that, let's take to the rift for our 3rd game. And we take to Summoner's Rift again for what could be our last time this evening as Qiao Gu, a 2-0 up against Invictus Gaming. It's been a hell of a run for IG to get themselves to this semi-final. But Qiao Gu are looking to force a date with LGD, and IG going to have to do everything in their power for 3 games straight to stop them.
And like you said, there's been 1 speed over the course of this game, and it's been set by this guy as he throws the Q. I half expect him to proc it just because.
I was 70% sure he was going in. So given the pace that he's been playing at, Swift is just going to get some vision down here. Qiao Gu have really played high-octane League of Legends.
And more often than not, over the course of the back half of the LPL, Qiao Gu would fall behind and were constantly playing from behind, you know, waiting out to 45, 50 minutes and showing out their team fight ability. So to see them finally get the lead, to play from ahead and just be so dominating, it's really refreshing.
It is, and Qiao Gu have not really been tested here. This game might be the first real test. IG took away a lot of their picks. KaKAO's drafting was smart here. I like that he took away the Nidalee. I'm surprised he didn't look at it sooner. But again, Qiao Gu have just looked so good all series long as Rookie and Doinb.
They just high-fived.
It was a high-five. Going to trade some auto attacks, but Rookie, he's going to win the early trade. Doinb's like, I don't really like this. There's the distortion down.
Oh, he popped a pot?
He's going to go again. Yeah, Doinb actually loses quite a lot in that trade.
Okay, wow. That's really massive, actually. Losing the pot, Rookie is going to go ahead and also pop his pot, but Doinb a little bit lower health, not able to refresh and to go back simply because the creep wave came in, so they don't want to lose the EXP advantage.
And again, 8 more Qs there from Rookie. Might see an aggressive all-in here.
So the trick with Ahri is anytime the enemy mid laner goes up, oh, there's actually really low health.
V's really low.
He's jungling. I was like, I'm just looking at the trick with Ahri is anytime the enemy mid laner goes to last hit, they're pretty much CC through the duration of their auto attack animation, that you throw out the Q, and it's really nice to hit the Q at max range because then you quickly get the front.
Rookie's going in. Oh my god. I knew that was coming as well. You could really tell that Rookie wanted to kill him.
You get the quick 1-2. It's really important that you hit the back half of the Ahri Q because it'll do more damage.
Yep. And you can see there, Rookie leveling Charm instantly when he hit level 2, flashing forward. But he doesn't get the kill. Forces the flash out though, and now Swift's here in the mid lane. This is a good bait. The Ignites it down. Doinb's really low. Safeguard's going to try and get the save. He does get the trade, but KaKAO now going to come in and do all this damage. Swift flashes out. KaKAO needs to land the spear. And what is going on in this mid lane? KaKAO's so low. Swift can't get him with the Q. Didn't have the E, and KaKAO is lucky to be alive.
Wow. Okay, so Swift Safeguard, not quite enough. The first blood did go over into the pocket of Rookie. That said, the 100 gold really not going to translate into much, probably some more pots, although he's actually picked up some boots.
Yeah, and has the Doran's ring as well. So double Doran's for both, just a boots edge there for Rookie. As things are starting on a very different speed here.
Sorry, I'm just... wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell from the minute Rookie and Doinb started slapping each other at level 1 that Rookie was going to try and level 2 all in.
It's an awesome matchup between KaKAO and Rookie just because they, you know, coming over from Korea, we know that they have an incredible amount of synergy, but also on the other side, Swift and Doinb. Doinb for the longest time had the highest kill participation of any mid laner in the LPL, and for a long time we didn't recognize him as an assassin player or a control mage player. He played Lulu, he played Morgana mid, and he would just follow Swift around as kind of a secondary support. It wasn't until fairly recently or halfway through the split that he got his own identity and he started to step forward, but just kind of the beautiful bromance between these duo jungle mids. I'm glad to see it finally exploding to see a 2v2 rather than just Swift and KaKAO going at it.
Yeah, a lot of tension there in the mid lane, that's for sure. As TNT going to go in aggressively, but Kid, he's got the damage here. TCT's going to block off some of those shots. But Kog'Maw keeping up in CS, but the aggressive edge certainly going to be here for the IG duo lane.
Let's talk about the Janna Vayne lane. He rolls his eyes. Vayne loses when you push the creeps into her. If you don't have any way to augment the wave and push into her, she's gonna win. If the wave is even, out trading a EQ from Vayne Janna is just...
Oh, great chain from Doinb. Swift coming in as well. Q's landed in. The charm is there. Does not follow. Doinb actually a little too low. He's gonna try and get the kill, but now he's outnumbered 1v2. He's going to get away to the creep, but KaKAO's going to keep chasing in. Does flash forward. He's going to get the kill. KaKAO secures the double.
And KaKAO can't beat Swift in the 1v1. He takes the Nidalee, denies him, gets him that kill matchup, but more importantly, forcing the 2v2. It's not just KaKAO versus Swift. It's KaKAO and Rookie versus Swift and Doinb. And the KT arrows. We said, when are they going to show up? They're showing up now.
They certainly are here. 5.5 minutes in. 3 kills for IG. And after a much better start as KaKAO just steals the big Krug and leaves. He is sending a message.
Yeah, 10 CS lead right now, as well as 2 kills in his pocket.
And this is the thing, like, Swift's Nidalee has been a hallmark pick for him recently towards the back end of the LPL, but don't forget, KaKAO is no slouch at jungle Nidalee as well.
Well, the thing is they're so similar in their styles. I would say KaKAO's a bit more reserved in that he can transfer into that power farm mode, just because that's what Invictus Gaming really needs from him. But he made his reputation on being an aggressive, insane jungler.
And he can do that here into Swift. Certainly is here. The top end of game 3, and like we've said, they need it here. So the rest of IG farming up nicely. Kid's got a nice little lead there in bottom lane, and it's about even in the top for Zzitai. But as long as the mid lane and jungle are going well, as long as they're keeping Qiao Gu out of their half of the map, IG are doing more than they already have in this series.
And the person who's benefiting the most from that is actually Rookie. Look at the CS discrepancy between him and Doinb right now, and the level discrepancy. Having the Spirit Rush available,
it's trouble, to say the least here. As Rookie's 15 CS up, Doinb will collect what he can here. But he's going to struggle here. And again, LeBlanc, just a curious pickup. We've seen a bit of Ahri, but not that much LeBlanc. We'll see if Doinb can make it work. Pawn tried in the last game. Did plenty of damage, but couldn't quite get the picks that he wanted.
Again, the Assassin's just coming back since Vayne and Kog'Maw are such a priority picks this time around. But here comes KaKAO. They're looking for the dive.
Oh, he's actually on blue buff now, I think, as well. I think. Might understand. Qiao getting assist pings down on there, so they seem to know, but KaKAO's the one finally stealing away those buffs.
I think it was the Wolf, the fact that Swift had... Sorry, I was looking at KaKAO. That Swift had Smite, the Direwolf camp, so when KaKAO invaded, he was spotted out by the Direwolf camp.
You can see now KaKAO tracing towards the bottom side. He's looking for a kill. Bottom lane might be the next target. Does check the camp. The Krogs have been cleared. Actually just spawning back then. The will miss those. The red buff back up as well, but KaKAO's onto the dragon now. So they have a blue ping straight onto him. I think they know what's going on. Going to start with the Scuttle Crab.
He does have control over the bottom side of the map right now just because Kid and Kitties are very healthy, very far forward. Likewise, complete control over the mid lane, which allows him to invade freely like this.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Swift was doing to KaKAO. All games 1 and 2. So KaKAO even leaving creature as well. You can sort of even pick the mentality of these players.
But just from level 1, you know, taking away the Nidalee, knowing that you're going to be aggressive, Rookie locks in the Ahri, massive spear.
Doinb might die. Rookie's going to go straight in for it. Looking for the kill. The Ignite's down as well. Doinb will die. Does not have enough tricks there to keep himself alive. And Swift is level 5 as KaKAO rolls in at 7 here. Rookie just needs to land the charm. Only 3 seconds left till it's back up here. And they might just go ahead and dive. The spear will miss. Swift is going to try and make an outplay. Needs to flash forward. Does get it in. And he gets the kill.
Oh, okay. Disaster a little bit for IG. They still have the lead. The fact that they're just trying to style on each other, there's no reason to go that crazy. You already got the 1v1 kill in the mid lane. Just shove the wave in, deny the CS, deny the experience. But like you said, you can tell what these players want to do to each other, and they're sending a message.
They certainly are. Message received on both sides. As IG still hold the lead here in this game, it's close to 2,000 gold up. But Swift and KaKAO have not let up on the pressure here. Warriors finished, Runeglave's done, and they're going to keep going.
But what I was saying is from Champ Select, this was the message that they're sending. We knew, like you said, that Rookie was going to be aggressive in that mid lane, flashing forward, making sure he got control of the wave so he could open up KaKAO to start invading Swift. This has been pre-planned and thought out since he locked in that Ahri pick.
IG looking good finally here. A lead in game number 3. They've had a good start here against Qiao Gu, have shown off some late game team fighting, aren't super far behind, have options here, but the lanes are going well, and that's been the first time we can say this so far.
I've never seen a team in the last chance in a best-of-5 series in a semifinal try to style so hard on their enemy.
Well, that's the thing, you have to win a best-of-5, it's not just one game.
No, and you said it yourself, you know, the momentum, just IG need to go crazy. You know, don't play towards late game against Qiao Gu. You have the tools in your bot lane to do that. You know that Kid and Kitties are just going to sit down there, low pressure, they're not going to take any risks, but just turn the heat on.
And heat is on right now as Rookie, 20 CS ahead of his mid laner. Got those Sork shoes done nice and early. Pretty much that's the advantage as far as boots go, as Doinb is just left with his parts for, I assume, a Morelli-Nomicon. He'll get his farm where he can, but Rookie's going to keep applying pressure, and Swift might need to visit some of these lanes here, but he smites away that Raptor camp. And Doinb's with the blues just trying to clear as much as he can.
He's just under so much pressure. He really can't afford to assist his lanes. We have a massive CS difference between him and KaKAO, and more importantly, a level difference, level 8 to level 7.
Yep, and that experience is paying off nicely. So we look through some of the other lanes now. Bottom lane going well for IG, but top lane's actually in V's favor as KaKAO swooping around the bottom side, and now they know what's going on.
The other thing that I want to talk about again, Rookie. Normally, we recognize Rookie as being very good at minion wave control, especially in the mid lane. He's always very early to bounce his wave to then hold it, and most of the time, he's just about denying as much experience and gold as possible in terms of the creep. You know, holding it close to his tower, standing on the back of the casters, and then just threatening you to try to trade for CS. This time, pushing forward in, allowing KaKAO, you know, the pressure of having control of the mid lane to make these crazy invades, to keep the heat on Doinb so he can't roam.
KaKAO's going top. There's the ulti up from V. He's getting it onto Zzitai. The wallop goes down as well. But it's about to be a 2v1. The spear misses there for KaKAO as V has to try and find a way out of this, but he doesn't have an ultimate. He's got no help coming. KaKAO's going to keep moving in. The Hex Streak is there, but KaKAO, he just does too much damage. He gets his 3rd kill of the game.
But with the resources expended in the top lane, Qiao Gu are going to try to pull the trigger on the dragon. Although, can IG posture?
Good wait for Rookie, looking for Doinb. Doinb gets out, he tries to get the chain down. Great distortion out there to dodge the time, but Rookie's going to all in him. He's going to get the kills, he ignites him once again.
Rookie is so punishing, and with complete control of the mid lane, they can't even commit onto the dragon, so IG will lose nothing for this.
And that's great. IG now going to continue rampaging through the jungle as Doinb looking a little lost now. The LeBlanc pick, he wanted to be aggressive, but KaKAO and Rookie, the KTR's duo, is taking it to them. And Swift, he's left cleaning up the mess in the mid lane.
You just have to think Qiao Gu are looking at each other. This just got a lot harder.
Yeah, hang on a second. This game was much easier. As TNT still farming away. Rookie getting a bit more pep in his step. He looked despondent, honestly, after the game too. Kid and TNT going at it, but Kid might just all in him. Janna back as well means that TNT can have to curb that aggression.
Has to be careful, is level 8, so when he presses R, he'll get some free stats there with the final hour, as well as Kitties getting closer to that level 9 to have all 5 points in the shield, but really not going to find his stride until he's that Blade of the Rune King complete. Only sitting on the Vampiric Scepter right now.
Has an extra longsword as well, but TNT's pretty short on items as well, so he'll build up that Trinity Force. Looks like he's got a lot of gold stashed up here.
I was going to say, I don't think either carry has gone back in a long while.
It's fine for them. I'll keep farming away. But it's really, again, it's all the commotion in the other lanes here. Top lane finally had a visit from KaKAO. We thought it was just the mid lane that they were going to get towards, but mid lane's at it again as KaKAO stealing away camps. And Doinb's like, come on, man, get out of my lane.
He's almost doubled the CS between Swift and KaKAO. And again, jungle creeps, that means so much more than lane creeps.
KaKAO's going to come in again. Rookie's going to get himself chained up. But they're just going to dive this tower. They'll take it at the very least here as Doinb just can't do anything right now.
Invictus Gaming completely changing up their identity and their MO. Yes, we expect them to play towards the top side of the map, but KaKAO, he's only visited Zzitai once. It's been entirely about Rookie's lane. And again, Rookie, most of the time, holds his wave, freezes it back, applying so much pressure as they start to roam top.
Good vision there from Qiao Gu as V does get himself away. He might actually get all in anyway. Flashes out and moves away from the charm, but V getting towards that Mega. Wanted to bait them into a dive, but IG very smartly back away.
This time around, though, Qiao Gu do pull the trigger on the Dragon because we have Swift in the pit.
He's going to start it up. He's level 8. Should be able to finish it. He's got his Sight Stone as well, so a bit of extra health on some vision here. And Qiao Gu, again, not out of this yet. They've fallen significantly far behind to start things off. But they'll get a Dragon for themselves, once again retaining control. Still 3,500 gold. It's not good news. But Qiao Gu can come back from this spot. And
they've had plenty of experience from playing from behind. Again, yes, Invictus Gaming looks fantastic right now. KaKAO and Rookie really showing up, changing up their identity of how we expect Invictus Gaming to play. But 45, 55 minutes, you're still facing across from Qiao Gu. If it comes down to one team fight, are Rookie and KaKAO enough?
Yeah, and both teams have their kind of 80 carry insurance policy, to be honest. Kid there on the Vayne, TNT on the Kog'Maw. There's been a lot of farming here. TNT actually has a slight lead in the lane just based on the way they're playing. And he's going to go back over a pretty well-timed Trinity Force once again. And they can look to maybe move those lanes around and get influence in some of the lanes that might not be going so hot as Kitties. Does tornado himself to safety, but that was a scary situation.
It's really hard to siege in or to try to gank in on Janna purple side, just because when you're pushing to that narrow little corridor for tornado and monsoon cover so much more surface area. So should be fairly safe in there. Expect the next big point of contention to be on that 5v5 Dragon fight, which we have a nice little 5-minute, 6-minute window.
Plenty of time for these guys to farm their way up, and maybe the mid laners to catch up, at least on the Qiao Gu side. Rookie Morello Nomicon, which is matched by Doinb, but Sorkshoes and an Aether Wisp up, looking for that Luden's Echo, I think, versus Negatron Clip.
Yeah, this is the big difference. With that mid-tier tower down, that unlocks Rookie to roll on the map, who's already on a fantastic roam champion in Ahri. So where do KaKAO and Rookie strike next? Will it be on this bottom lane, or will they make another rotation towards top?
Finally seeing a back here as well on the bottom lane. If that Kid's not going to go, it's Janna that's moved. They might look for a tower dive here, but it's a bit risky. And they'll back away instead. I think I'd take the free back.
Yeah, I was going to say, they need to take the free back. It's 16 minutes in the game. He's sitting on a long sword and a ruby crystal.
Probably get a lot more than that as he goes back with...
Bam!
There's a Trinity Force. Easy as you like.
Buy one, get one free. That's been a sale.
There's Dagger as well. Is that ruby crystal and longsword transformed very quickly. As the Kog'Maw now has a nice strong item to move back into the lane, but Vayne likewise probably has that Blade of the Rune King now as well.
Swift knows his place.
Yep, he's like, okay, oh my god, he's 3 levels behind KaKAO.
Exactly, I was just going to say level 12 to level 9. 109 CS versus 57, and that's all you need to know.
Oh, Rookie's here, this is a good bait. Flash Charm comes out, TNT's going to get absolutely monstered. And Rookie's going to dash his way to safety. No, he's going to take the ward instead.
Just deleted. And we asked, where is Rookie going to strike next? Because there's no way that Doinb can hold him down in the lane, especially with how strong KaKAO is. Decides to strike
Oh my god, he's going to all in KaKAO. He gets the stun down. The Ignite's good, but it's not enough. We needed one more spell.
A single auto attack.
Yeah, by the looks of things, yeah. And Rookie's coming back, so he was like, yep, have to leave.
Wow, Doinb flexing a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I like the all-in. Certainly knew that he could do the damage, but KaKAO going to go the same build Swift has beaten him with twice in a row now. Does have that Rod of Ages and oh my god, KaKAO has so much money. I just looked down, I'm like, oh, he's got a Rod of Ages.
He got a blasting wand.
Turns out he has an extra blasting wand as well, yeah. And he's building Abyssal, which is also the same build Swift did, but he's already got the Null Magic Mantle. KaKAO has too much money for 18 minutes into a game as a jungler.
Yeah. Yep. Can't disagree with that.
It's the power of Nidalee.
He's got double the CS of Swift.
Not bad, as Swift actually kills him. That'll be some nice gold with a bit of help from TCT.
Apparently Swift doesn't care how much gold he has.
Well, not when he has Braum there to help him out, Swift.
Did your blasting wand save you now, KaKAO?
Certainly not.
Did you find comfort in your Braum?
Probably did, up until the point where he got killed at it. As you do see Qiao Gu have some fight left in them. More than a bit, actually. Still that gold lead's there for IG. It's actually grown a little bit more since we last checked in. 5,000 up now, which is impressive at 18.5 minutes. But Qiao Gu more than happy to stand and fight. Dragon up in a minute 40 or so.
Yeah, I'm glad that you pointed out the Dragon. That's going to be the next big point of contention. That's going to be the arena. So Qiao Gu, they're the 5v5 team. They've beaten the likes of EDG, of Snake, with 10k gold deficits. So, you know, this one's pretty sizable, but it's not something that Qiao Gu haven't come back from in the past.
Certainly not out of reach here. Swift lining up a gank in the mid lane. Doinb wants it, lands the Q, but just under some minions, puts the ward down, gets some vision.
Really important to get those deep mid lane wards just because it's a high traffic area, especially when you're posturing and setting up for this dragon. Again, 1 minute, 14 seconds on that timer. Make sure that they reset the map, get control of their waves, and try to posture and fight for this one.
V's actually going back now, so he's going to get a shot in as well. And something we've sort of missed in and amongst all the mid lane chaos and action, V has had an excellent lane against Zzitai. He's 20 CS ahead still. In fact, he's closer to 30.
Especially on a high-impact champion like Gnar. We talked about this. Yes, V's his go-to is going to be Maokai. He's a great Hecarim player, but Gnar's still relatively high up there for impact, and he's sitting waiting for something. It's Bansheville.
Yep, straight up Banshees, which will help nicely against all the spears and charms that are being thrown around. Does Kid in the top lane?
Yeah, especially his Dragon. I mean, he's got plenty of time. He's still got 40 seconds, so he could be up there trying to create a slow push, or IG might actually just be giving up this Dragon or think that they're able to do it with Rookie and KaKAO.
He has to go now. He does make his way down, so he might make it there in time.
Yeah, just resetting the wave.
You can see Luden's done for Rookie as well, so items starting to come out. In fact, both mid laners have 2 items, which is just much more cost efficient for Doinb, who's actually caught up a little bit in CS as well. So things aren't looking too bad as we line up what's going to be the second dragon fight.
Okay, so if Qiao Gu and IG both want to contest for this one, and we have a full 5v5, the thing that you need to look for is you have the itemization of the Luden's Echo on Ahri. Naturally, she has great pick potential, but with Luden's Echo, she also gets great poke potential. That synergizes really well with KaKAO's poke. So IG, to prep for this, throw out your poke, use your Ludens, hit some spears, then look for the all-in 5v5. Or just take dragon.
He's going to have to put down. The dragon's already dead, though. So V's going to keep split pushing in the top lane. Qiao Gu happy to give that up and fight another day.
Just recognizing when they're behind. I thought for sure Qiao Gu would try to fight for that one, but I mean, this is actually pretty telltale of what they do a lot of the time. We talked about how they're used to fighting from the back foot. A lot of the time they'll fall behind in these games.
I think they're confident in maybe some of the other pressure here as well. Playing a bit safer as V's still running rampant in the top lane. Doinb's going to clear out this wave once more. And Qiao Gu are forced back in to some of their towers towards the bottom side of the map, but still making headway.
V has to expect that he's about to get collapsed on. He has the last standing outer tower, which means it's the easiest one for IG to siege. Likewise, there's no reason for IG to be on the bottom side of the map with Dragon down.
Qiao continuing to invade the jungle, gonna find a couple of blue creeps and take them out here as well. We might have a gank here onto Zzitai, but we'll make the ping. Zzitai pops his righteous glory, but Rookie and KaKAO are on the way down. So not a good time to try and go all in on the Maokai.
I don't know about tower diving at 21 minutes.
KaKAO's going to go back. He's on top of a ward, actually, so might be a point where they can catch him. Can they make it in time? KaKAO sees them. He'll back away as V's now going to find Kitties of all people. Gets Monsoon back and V's just going to build up some of that rage. I think he was hoping Kid would come, but now Rookie's coming up as well. Kitty's going to get tagged. V will hop his way over. The flash is good. Flash forward there as well, and V, he can't just withstand all the damage. Kid's going to get the kill.
Finally paying out to that Vayne. Letting him take the kill since Rookie is still sitting 4-1 and 3. Very happy place, but this is what I was talking about. Playing to the top side of the map, taking the last standing outer and the freestanding goal.
Turret goes down in the bottom lane there as Kog'Maw actually able to get the outer turret down there. Had Vayne working on the top. We're starting to open up the map a lot more for Oscurin. And with 2 dragons down, 1 apiece here, what's the next thing we should look for? Is it Baron that we start considering, or are the teams sort of waiting on their next few items?
Well, it's Qiao Gu. If Qiao Gu were ahead, I definitely think that we'd be looking to contest Baron. Not that IG don't love their Baron, but I don't think they're going to try to risk it on a Baron throw since it is, again, the last game. They have 1 chance. Just continue to siege up towers, especially with your Nidalee.
Yeah, I mean, just use those power picks. It makes a lot of sense here. It's not like the KaKAO rookie combo is getting further behind here. TNT is starting to mount a pretty strong set of items though. So you have to think Qiao Gu. We're going to look for a point maybe 5 to 10 minutes from now and really take ID in a 5v5.
Getting closer and closer to that Blade of the Rune King for this Kog'Maw. Just curious what his third item is going to be. We've seen a lot of Blasters coming out, or if he's going to opt for maybe some more attack speed in the Phantom Dancer.
Neat vision. There we go. Gets it back. TCT is going to help him out. Grump does go down. TNT is going to back away as Doinb flying through the creeps here in mid lane. And I love what he's done with his build. We talked about it. He was behind for a lot of this lane. He has caught up nicely. It's a lot of wave theory in this build, but it's just nice and cost efficient. Yeah,
taking the Abyssal, getting the penetration, likewise the protection against KaKAO and Rookie. There is a lot of magic damage that you're looking across. Pretty much everyone but Vayne. And it will also empower his own little AD carry, Kog'Maw, doing some mixed damage there.
Quite a bit, in fact. Kog'Maw's, again, a very popular champion in playoffs as Swift will just dodge out of that spear. KaKAO continuing to get levels, or is the same level as his top lane.
But they are posturing and they're trying to pull Qiao Gu into a pick potential to look towards that Baron. So we talked about, you know, Qiao Gu pulling the trigger relatively early when they're ahead on a 20-minute Baron, and IG are going to do the same. Well,
looking to set up a siege right now. It's the first time I think they've really grouped in this sort of formation. Qiao Gu do have decent wave clear here with the Kog'Maw and LeBlanc, so doing what they can safely.
Against a poke comp, you have to hard engage. That's pretty much your only option. And entirely their hard engage is either going to be on TCT with his Glacial Fissure or on V in this bottom lane.
He's currently busy with the Maokai, so
he's about to die to Vayne.
The ultimate ticking away. Yeah, it looks like a bad time. We'll be able to hop to safety. Condemn's going to be there. V's going to get knocked into the wall. And now the fight's starting in mid lane. TCT actually trying to ult in onto Rookie, but IG will live there. The bottom side will be the kill for Kid. And IG playing 2 different fronts very nicely.
Yeah, Qiao Gu trying to pull the trigger, knowing and realizing that they had the numbers advantage since Kid had rotated down bottom.
Oh, Swift eats a charm. KaKAO's going to follow in with the spear. Will miss there is trying to lead Swift on the safeguard, I think.
But the big problem is that there's no way for Qiao Gu to force Invictus Gaming to fight them without V. He's the big hard engage. Yes, you can hit them with the Braum, but it's just going to be a slow, especially against the likes of Nidalee and Ahri and how slippery they are.
And again, IG, ooh.
This is brilliant.
Big play onto the Baron buff. They see the dual lane down bot, and IG going to make a nice assertive call here.
They know that this is happening, but will they get there in time? You're competing against not only the Baron shred from Nidalee, but also Vayne having the Blade of the Rune King.
Doinb is here. The Baron is dead. Super fast Baron from IG. Really well played.
The Blade of the Rune King Vayne on the Primal Surge, just going to shred through that Baron.
Oh, Doinb is now kind of very lost. He's going to get chased down by the Maokai and killed by the same champion. Trying to make a play around the Baron, got himself killed.